Hey everybody, it's Leroy from Leroy Gaming, and in today's Baldurs Gate 3 guide, we're going to be looking at the Circle of Spores subclass for the Druid. Within this video, you're going to see me cover features at level 1 of character creation, including ability recommendations. Going to have full level 2 to 12 breakdown. All spells available to you as you level will be shown. And then I'm going to provide you feedback on general equipment recommendations for this class, as well as my thoughts on multiclassing the Circle of Spores Druid. You can use timestamps below to jump to the area that most interests you, and remember to drop a like and leave a comment below of your thoughts, feedback, and questions. And now without further ado, let's check out the Circle of Spores Druid. Alright guys, for starters at level 1 with the Druid, you do not get to pick your subclass quite yet. That's going to be at level 2. So at level 1, the main things you need to know is that the Circle of Spores Druid primary ability is Wisdom. Your saving throw proficiencies are going to be Intelligence and Wisdom. And you're going to have a hit die of 1d8 hit points. Your proficiencies are going to be with simple weapons, light armor, medium armor, and shields. Now at level 1, you will get to pick 2 cantrips. And you definitely, I would say, want to get Guidance and then Shillelagh for this particular setup. But here are the other options that I'll mouse over, so feel free to pause the video if you want to read the descriptions. Now at level 1, you will also get 2 level 1 spell slots, and you will have 5 spells that are memorized. These are the ones here. There's a variety of effects. And then when it comes to your ability points for starters, I would recommend 8 Strength, 14 Dexterity, 16 Constitution, 8 Intelligence, 17 Wisdom, and 10 Charisma. I do want to point out that this build almost never transforms because of the way the mechanics works. So you actually do care about the Constitution and Dexterity stats here for your combat prowess and defense elements in addition to your Wisdom. Do note, I primarily like to do 17 Wisdom here. If you're gonna side of the Hag within the story to get that +1 to stat, you would want to bump this to 18. Of course, if you're not planning on doing that, then it's a little less important to do 17 Wisdom. You could drop it to 16 and then either bump up your Strength a little bit, your Intelligence, or Charisma. Now level 2 is when you get to pick your subclass, and this is where the Circle of Spores Druid gets interesting. Thematically, do note, it's much more about summoning undead. It's about adding necrotic damage to all your attacks and into making yourself much more sturdy while you're in your non-transformed form. Now for starters, you do get 1 more level 1 spell slot. You will be able to prepare 5 spells still, and here are all the options that I'm going to mouse over for you to check out. Now do note, the way that the prepared spells work for this class and subclass is as you level up, you're going to get more and more prepared spells you can pick, but you're going to have to select across all the levels of spells. So right now you only have level 1 spells to worry about, but then as you unlock level 2, 3, 4, etc., you're going to have to pick from all of those to your 1 pool of prepared spells. The good news is that you can change these at any time, not only at level up, but if you go into your inventory, there is a little subcategory, and you can swap out your prepared spells at any time outside of combat. Now, as a Circle of the Spores Druid, you do get Wild Shape, and you can do this 2 times per short rest as an action, and you do get all the basic transformations. So Badger, Spider, Wolf, and Cat, but that's not how you're likely to use your wild shapes. Instead, what you can do is you can utilize something called Symbiotic Entity. And what's interesting is you're going to get temporary hit points. You start with 8, but this will scale up. And you're going to do 1 to 6 necrotic damage while you have them. So as long as you have those temporary hit points. And this is for all attacks, so not just melee. You can use it for melee. You can use it for your range attacks as well. And do note then it says casting Halo of Spores with double damage while this is going on. And Halo of Spores is very unique It is not a bonus action, it is a reaction that you can use at any time. So it doesn't have to literally be a quote-unquote reaction, but this is basically an extra attack. It's a 6-meter necrotic damage attack. And do note again, as the descriptor in the symbiotic entity says, it will double damage. So instead of 1 to 4, it should be 2 to 8. In addition to this, you will also get the Bone Chill cantrip, which is quite decent, especially against the undead. Now level 3, you're going to get to prepare 6 spells, and you're going to get 1 more level 1 spell slot and 2 level 2 spell slots. And you get access to all of the level 2 spells. I'll go ahead and mouse over them for you again so you can check them out. Enhance Ability is a great concentration spell to help you with a variety of skill checks. Moonbeam is great for offense. And Protection from Poison is amazing, as this does not take concentration, lasts till the end of a long rest. You will also get 2 spells that will always be memorized, and that is Blindness and Detect Thoughts. Detect Thoughts is great for conversations, but it does require concentration, unfortunately. Now, level 4, you're going to get another cantrip. You're going to prepare 7 spells. You will also get 1 more level 2 spell slot. You will unlock the Wild Shape for Deep Wrath, and you will also unlock feats. Now, when it comes to feat recommendations, ability improvements is going to be really strong. To get Wisdom nice and high, you may even consider bumping Constitution up if you want to be more tanky. Warcaster is also really high recommendation here, gaining advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration on spells, as you're likely to consistently use concentration spells on this build. I can recommend Elemental Adept with an asterisk, and that's only if you end up using one of the elements, because if you focus on necrotic damage, then this will not be useful. However, if you end up leaning into 1 or more, maybe let's say lightning or thunder spells, then gaining the ability to ignore resistance and making sure you can't roll 1 on a damage roll is actually quite helpful. Now, this is a build that I do recommend actually using ranged attacks, and so Sharpshooter may also be quite viable here, so that if you shoot up at enemies, you will not get the negative effects of high ground. And you can also get the passive bonus of +10 to damage for only a -5 penalty to attack rolls. So this could also be very viable for this particular build. Now at level 5, you're going to get 2 level 3 spell slots. Wild Strike will make you attack an additional time after making an unarmed strike while in Wild Shape. This is less beneficial for the subclass, as you're unlikely to spend as much time in your traditional Wild Shapes. And then here are your level 3 spells. Call Lightning is amazing. And then here are the ones that will always be memorized, and Animate Dead is a big one here. This is where you can start being a summoner. And of course, you can prepare 8 spells now. At level 6, you're going to get 1 more level 3 spell slot. You can prepare 9 spells. You can now transform into a panther or owlbear. And very importantly, you get fungal infestation. So the description is raise a mildewed, molded, encrusted zombie from a corpse. And this is definitely something that's real nice, because you can stack this on top of that Animate Dead spell. So now you're going to be able to have multiple undead creatures, and do note that this just uses a reaction. Alright, level 7, you're going to get 1 level 4 spell slot. We're going to unlock all your level 4 spells. Do note the ones that are always going to be memorized are Blight, which is deadly, and also Confusion. And here are the other options you can choose. Conjure Minor Elemental is pretty nice. Conjure Woodland Being is probably more specific to this setup. and you can prepare 10 spells now. At level 8, you're going to get to prepare 11 spells. You're going to get one more level 4 spell slot, and you're going to pick your second feat. At level 9, you're going to get to prepare 13 spells. You're going to get one more level 4 spell slot. You're going to get one more level 5 spell slot, and you're going to be actually unlocking level 5 spells. Your 2 level 5 spells that you will always have are Cloud Kill, Contagion, and then here are the other spells. Conjure Elemental, very powerful. At level 10, you're going to get to pick another cantrip. You're now up to 14 spells that you can prepare. You're going to get another level 5 spell slot. You get Improved Wild Strike, so you can now make 2 additional attacks after making Unarmed Strike while in Wild Shape. Again, less useful for this build. But you're also going to get Spread Spores. So while you have your Symbiotic Entity active, remember that's your main transformation use, you can create a cloud of spreading spores. And here's the effect on this. And you're also going to get to get Wild Shape Dilophosaurus. And then you can, of course, prepare 14 spells now. At level 11, you're going to be able to prepare 15 spells. You're going to get a level 6 spell slot. And here are the spells you can utilize. And then finally, level 12, you're going to go ahead and have 16 spells to memorize. And you're going to be able to pick your final feat. Now, as we talk about equipment for this class, I did want to point something out. So this subclass, in addition to having the wild shape charges, you're going to have fungal infestation charges that are particular for raising the undead, and this is going to be using that fungal infestation we mentioned as a reaction. So you're going to get numerous of these. At 12, you're going to have 4 of them, and they recharge at long rest. So this, again, on top of the level 3 Animate Undead spell, if you select that, is going to be the core of your summoning. Now, because you're going to be in your kind of human form, you can really lean into utilizing your weapons more than any other druid subclass. So what I recommend equipment-wise, of course, get the very best medium armor potential here, unless you decide to multi-class and get heavy armor. But I highly actually recommend leaning into using a really good bow or crossbow, because your effect from Symbiotic Entity will buff the damage of your range attacks as well. That would lead you to want to probably use a quarterstaff and a shield to maximize your defense while you're in melee. You can, of course, cast Shillelagh and be decent with melee attacks as well, but the best way to build out this character is probably to have a bunch of summons and then attack from range, and then just have enough defense if something does attack you so that you don't get beat down too hard. This also means that your support items should just be there to make you more tanky, like a Cloak of Protection or Ring of Protection, and then anything else that's going to either give you extra spell slots for more casting or just provide you with specific spells. Now, I would definitely recommend getting at least an item that will let you use Misty Steps. There's definitely an amulet early on that you can get for this, and I think there's other items as well, so you can get to high ground and then use your bows with the benefits of high ground, and then you can summon your undead from corpses on the ground as you kill things. Now, finally, talking about multi-classing, I would say that once you get your level 5 spell slots and potentially 6 spell slots, you do have potentially 1 or 2, maybe 3 levels that you could multi-class into. However, just like the other druid subclasses, this class as a whole is so powerful when it comes to its spellcasting ability that there's no shame in not multi-classing. The main reasoning I could see behind multi-classing is if you wanted to make yourself super tanky, you could very well get a level fighter or a martial class like a ranger to get access to heavy armor and make yourself even more tanky, and to gain access to other weapons if you so wished. Otherwise, this class gives you pretty much everything you need to be an amazing summoner and spreader of death and decay. Alright guys, that's gonna bring us to the end of the Circle of Spores Druid subclass video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe for more videos from me. Thank you for all your support, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.